So, I'm going to do a stuff, but I'm also opening up a new segment because sometimes doing stuff is just me being quiet and changing things. So, a new segment is going to be drinking and thinking, and I'm going to talk minorly about a drink, scotch, generally, because that's what I like, and complain about things, because who doesn't want to complain? What I've got here is a Balvenie Week of Peat and a Granberg Alaskan. So I'm going to drink and think about this scotch while making my chainsaw mill be able to cut much larger pieces. Now, if you're a scotch drinker, you will know that there are a lot of very peaty options, and some people don't like them, but I love them. It tastes like I'm drinking a campfire, and I just like that. Reminds you of being out in the woods, which I kind of am anyway. But peaty scotches are one of my favorites. That doesn't mean I don't like other scotches. I do. I have two cameras going and I'm looking at both of them because I don't know which one to look at. I haven't done this before, but I'm going to be here and either here or here. I'm not certain which one yet. And I've already lost my train of thought. This Balvenie, though, even being very peaty, is still very smooth. It doesn't make you want to cough fire. You may want to know what hints and flavors there are, but that's not something I can really tell you. Stuck on my plastic end. Egads. I can taste flavors, but as I am no connoisseur, I cannot tell you about flavors. I can say, it tastes a bit like chocolate or something, but that's about all you'll get out of me. Boy, this isn't coming off easily. There we go, got it. All right. So, chainsaw mill, which, if you've watched any videos that I have, you've seen me use, is a wonderful device. But it has its limits. And when you reach those limits, you have to take the whole thing apart. To go beyond those limits. Which, is annoying, but this is affordable. This is something, I can carry around, which I have to do, because, I don't really have the ability to pick up giant... There's a train. We're going to hold off for 1 second. I once heard from a very smart man that every train you will ever hear crossing tracks is doing it wrong. He told me, I don't know how he knew this, and I honestly don't even know if it's true, but he told me that the train is supposed to do 2 short blasts before each crossing. So, I can guarantee you that many of these train conductors, if that's even what they go by anymore, don't know that. Because they just blast and blast, especially if I'm trying to talk. Doesn't matter if I'm on the phone or just trying to talk to someone at my house. They just blare that horn, and it is really annoying. Alright, I can't get that guy out right now, but we're not going to bother. So, this gives me the ability to do it's 36 inches long. It's the ability to do, 32-inch cuts, 31-inch cuts. But the tree that I need to cut at its widest part is like 34 inches. And that's just this tree. Also the cookies to cut, which are much larger, as trees do that. So I had to get some new pieces that, obviously part of it is the chainsaw bar itself, but I also need new pieces for the sawmill, which are what you see me assembling here in front of you. Currently. One of the bigger issues that I've found putting these together is making sure everything's actually straight. That's a bit of a difficult one, honestly, because you really have to work at it sometimes. And all of the aluminum pieces, they're machined, they're cut real nice. They sit on there perfectly. But, you're still dealing with 56 inches of square aluminum, and nothing ever likes to work correctly. So, I also had to get a bunch of supports. I probably should have bought the winch as well, but I gotta work on my muscles, so. We'll try and be a strong boy for a little while. One of the big problems, at least with me, talking about anything, is I have the shortest attention span. So, I have no idea what I've been talking about at all. This is just going to be it. Put it on mute. It might be better. You won't have to listen to me ramble on and drop my nuts. Just want to see somebody make a chainsaw mill bigger, put it on mute, perfect video for you. Perfect. Alright. Washers. Gotta put washers on there. I kind of expected myself to talk a little more about the whiskey, but I'm not really, because, it's tasty. It's kind of pricey, but not for scotch. It's extremely good value if you want good scotch. I mean, it's no Glenlivet Founder's Reserve, which is the best Glenlivet I've had, which is, you know, it's really not saying much, but it's still good. It's not a bad scotch. But it's also a very cheap scotch. Very cheap indeed. This should probably go right in the middle of what I'm doing, but, you know, measuring is, it's for wood. You know, it's not for setting up chainsaw mills. Measuring is for wood. That's what you do when you're cutting. Measure twice, cut once. Or the other way around. I was thinking about this, and eventually I'm going to have to get my chainsaw in here. And I guess slap it up on this bar, which I'm on my bar because all of my other work surfaces are taken up with things. Whether it's, you know, wood or old furniture or tools. I don't have a lot of places to work. I think I'm doing this right. I really don't know if there's anything important to say that I've left out. Because like I said, I don't remember what I've said. Can't hold on to anything. And I'm back. This is going to be the only video that I will talk about this particular subject, of which I am about to talk. So, I know if you've watched YouTube videos for any amount of time, you always see people just basically begging to get their content to a point where they can make money off of it. And, you know, while it would be nice, that would be super neat to make money off of this kind of stuff, I just like doing it. So, never in my videos will you hear me say, oh, like and subscribe and do the notification thing, other than right now while I'm complaining about it. Because I don't like hearing that in videos. If I like something, I'm going to show that I liked it. If I'm, you know, on social media, I will like things I like. If I'm on YouTube, I will like things that I do indeed like. I'm not just going to like it for no reason. And I'm not going to like it because someone asked me to. It's not my cup of tea. So I'm not going to try and force said cup of tea onto anyone. This is my cup of tea. And it's not tea at all. Don't drink that, kids. Why do I have 2 extra washers? I do not know. I don't know, but this goes here with lock washers. I guess this piece is also part of what keeps everything straight. Perhaps. It makes sense when I say it to myself. I've got so much stuff. I've got so much free advertising for people over here. I guess that would only really matter if people watch this. But hey, any publicity is good publicity, right? Why? Did I tighten that too much? So we're going to start down here. Just tighten up this end. And hope it all stays straight. I mean, it should be straight enough anyway. What you really want is to not tighten it wrong. Let's try this again. Oh, come on, man. Nice and square. There it is. There it is, just like that. See, there goes my train of thought again. What you really want... Oh, right. It's just for these guys to match each other on each end. And you want to make sure that your bar isn't bowed in the middle, because that, aside from being terribly dangerous, makes your cuts not good. Okay. Well, this isn't really taking, as long as I kind of thought it would, which is good, because, nobody seems to like watching videos that are 48 minutes or whatever mine end up being. And that's, with some fast motion stuff. But, whatever. You can skip. If you want to listen to an aging skateboarder ramble, then, this channel for you. So, I can put that on. I can't tighten it until the saw is in here. I keep just barely moving pieces further and further away. I don't want to have to, stop the video. I mean, that's the magic of editing, though. Doesn't really matter if I walk away. I don't even know if both of these are still recording. Kind of looks like that one shut off. Yes, it did, and I don't know when. There's not really any point in keeping the gimbal on then. Okay. So that angle's gone. What was I thinking? Oh, I'm tightening things. Right. So we're going to tighten this guy first. And then the clampy part of it. There's another train coming. I'm sure you could hear. You may not have guessed, but I live near train tracks. And the only time that I've really ever paid attention to it is when I'm making a video. Any other time, you really don't notice it. It takes like, you know, a month for it to not wake you up at night anymore. So, we're going to... Well, what we're probably going to do is run out of battery. Because the backup battery was in the other camera. So that's going to be the most likely scenario. So, in case that's the sort of thing that happens, thanks for joining me a bit early, and maybe I'll put some credits in before I know. It's got a fruit to it. Kind of, I don't know, good. It's tasty, delicious. Maybe by drinking and thinking I won't talk about the whiskey itself, but just, you know, stuff. Like I had this idea that I was going to complain about people driving, and now I've kind of stopped driving a real long way. So, all right, maybe let's back the camera up so I can get the chainsaw in here and get this thing buttoned down. So if nothing else can be said about a chainsaw with a gigantic bar on it, they're really heavy. Really fun to look at, but really heavy. And also, this is probably in the way, but they get rather flexible. You probably can't tell. You know, I didn't really make a plan of how I was gonna like put this thing all the way together. So let's just do it the easy but more time consuming way, right? We'll just fully unbolt this. Which is easy on that end. But over here with this nose guard, it's kind of annoying. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's off of there. And yep, that one is too. Okie dokie. So, we're going to slide the old saw, knock things over, not be able to use our hands properly. Let's turn that over the right way. Boy, that's heavy. That is rather cumbersome. So, we want to slide that basically all the way in. You also kind of want, there's a moth. You also kind of, you're way back there. You also kind of want to not tighten everything down before you're set. That's where I'm going. All right. Anyway, let's give her the old shimmy here. You get shimmy, shimmy up. It's not shimmying. I'm going to need you to shimmy with me. And you shimmied too much. Okie dokie. probably best to clamp this on the other side of the bearing. I don't know if it would actually make any difference, but for my own sanity, that is what I do. So this is where that bowing comes into play. Because, you know, I've got pounds of chainsaw over here. And this little trampoline, effectively. So I think what I'm going to try is to put this in all the way. I'm gonna try tightening this side first. We're going to. Yep, it was already freed up. Oh, that's rubby. So we'll tighten this side down. Move those a skosh. Just a skosh. See, this is also a problem with these videos, is I get so into doing what I'm doing, I forget to talk. I know I should. That's why I'm talking like I am now. Because I remember, right, this is something for people to watch. I should speak words and communicate like a human. Yeah, I think I need to slide everything. Well, this one is the old meat and potatoes of it. That's the one that I use to keep her running true. I feel like maybe I should measure. Make sure it's straight. I don't know. Maybe not. But we're gonna end here. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching me ramble and build a chainsaw mill. You know what this means is pretty soon I'm going to be slapping up that big boy I cut the root ball off of. I'm not quite done with my solar kiln, and by not quite done I mean I'm not quite halfway done. But I've got to go to Home Depot tomorrow. Thanks for watching. It just seemed like the right thing.